Chapter 37. Our age is proud of its historical sense. How could it ever make itself believe the nonsense that at the beginning of Christianity there stands the crude fable of the miracle worker and redeemer, and that everything spiritual and symbolical represents only a later development? On the contrary, the history of Christianity, beginning with the death on the cross, is the history of the misunderstanding, growing cruder with every step, of an original symbolism. With every diffusion of Christianity to still broader, still cruder masses of people, more and more lacking in the presuppositions to which it owed its birth, it became more necessary to vulgarize, to barbarize Christianity. It has swallowed doctrines and rites of all the subterranean cults of the Imperium Romanum, as well as the nonsense of all kinds of diseased reason. The destiny of Christianity lies in the necessity that its faith had to become as diseased, as base and vulgar as the needs it was meant to satisfy were diseased, base and vulgar. In the church, finally, diseased barbarism itself gains power. The church, this embodiment of mortal hostility against all integrity, against all elevation of the soul, against all discipline of the spirit, against all frank and gracious humanity. Christian values, noble values. Only we spirits who have become free, have restored this contrast of values, the greatest that there is. Chapter 38. At this point I do not suppress a sigh. There are days when I am afflicted with a feeling blacker than the blackest melancholy, contempt of man. And to leave no doubt concerning what I despise, whom I despise, it is the man of today, the man with whom I am fatefully contemporaneous. The man of today, I suffocate from his unclean breath. My attitude to the past, like that of all lovers of knowledge, is one of great tolerance, that is, magnanimous self-mastery. With gloomy caution I go through the madhouse world of whole millennia, whether it be called Christianity, Christian faith, or Christian church. I am careful not to hold mankind responsible for its mental disorders, but my feeling changes, breaks out, as soon as I enter modern times, our time. Our time knows better. What was formerly just sick is today indecent. It is indecent to be a Christian today. And here begins my nausea. I look around. Not one word has remained of what was formerly called truth. We can no longer stand it if a priest as much as uses the word truth. If we have even the smallest claim to integrity, we must know today that a theologian, a priest, a pope, not merely is wrong in every sentence he speaks, but lies. That he is no longer at liberty to lie from innocence or ignorance. The priest too knows as well as anybody else that there is no longer any God, any sinner, any redeemer, that free will and moral world order are lies. Seriousness, the profound self-overcoming of the spirit, no longer permits anybody not to know about this. All the concepts of the church have been recognized for what they are, the most malignant counterfeits that exist, the aim of which is to devalue nature and natural values. The priest himself has been recognized for what he is, the most dangerous kind of parasite, the real poison spider of life. We know, today our conscience knows, what these uncanny inventions of the priests and the church are really worth, what ends they served in reducing mankind to such a state of self-violation that its sight can arouse nausea. The concepts beyond, last judgment, immortality of the soul, and soul itself are instruments of torture, systems of cruelties by virtue of which the priest became master, remained master. Everybody knows this, and yet everything continues as before. Where has the last feeling of decency and self-respect gone when even our statesmen, an otherwise quite unembarrassed type of man, anti-Christians through and through in their deeds, still call themselves Christians today and attend communion? A young prince at the head of his regiments, magnificent as an expression of the selfishness and conceit of his people, but without any shame confessing himself a Christian. Whom then does Christianity negate? What does it call world? that one is a soldier, that one is a judge, that one is a patriot, that one resists, that one sees to one's honor, that one seeks one's advantage, that one is proud. Every practice of every moment, every instinct, every valuation that is translated into action is today anti-Christian. What a miscarriage of falseness must modern man be, that he is not ashamed to be called a Christian in spite of all this.